Man, the emotional weight that Detroit puts on you, it's pretty heavy. So Detroit takes place in 1967 in Detroit, of course, and it's when all these riots are going on and stuff like that. Yet it doesn't mainly focuses on the riots. It does have that in there, but it mainly focuses on this hotel room. And in this hotel room, these police are interrogating these residents that are staying there, and it gets pretty intense. So Detroit stars John Boyega, Will Poulter, Algie Smith, and Jacob Latimore. And I gotta say, these performances, they're really, really good. All of them, really. And the standout, I think, is Will Poulter. I mean, he really brought it. Yet he is given the most chance to stand out, because I wish there was a little bit more John Boyega, because he was honestly in the movie a little less than I wanted. But, I mean, if that's what the story calls for, then that's what the story calls for, because I'd rather the movie stay as true to the events as it can be than, kind of just put more John Boyega in it. Also, I want to mention Algie Smith. From what I can tell, this is his first movie, and he did really, really well. I'd honestly be looking out for this guy, because he was really good for his first performance. Really good. I mean, everyone did a great job. And honestly, one of the things that I really liked about this movie is that at the very end of the movie, it tells you that it tried to be as accurate as it can be due to eyewitness testimony and documents. Yet, some of it is not true, which is really surprising to me, because whenever you hear a true story, not all of it's true, and sometimes it's really loosely true. Yet this movie tells you that parts of it aren't true, which I really liked, and I'm glad that it had the balls to do that. Now, this movie is pretty intense, and that's what the movie's trying to get you to do. It's supposed to make you feel that tension, and it definitely pulls it off. And the story, I was interested in it from point A to point B. The story is just really engaging, and I wanted to learn more about this stuff. Once this movie ended, my theater was pretty much silent. There was nothing. No one said a word, because this movie puts a lot of emotional weight on you, and it's really interesting. Now, I do have a few problems with this movie, and one of them is the camera work, because you can tell it's all handheld, so it's kind of shaky because someone's holding it, and whenever someone's running, it becomes really shaky, and so it kind of I'm like, ugh. And honestly, shaky cam doesn't normally bother me that much, but it kind of gave me just a little bit of a headache. And not only that, I wish there were some parts that they focused more on and, shortened a little bit on the other stuff. I mean, overall, this movie could be just a little bit shorter, because it is almost 2.5 hours. Now, whenever the tension starts going down a little bit because it's focusing on one scene too much, the movie knows this and does something that brings that tension right back. So I'm going to give Detroit a 7 out of 9. Detroit has a great cast, great story, and is really tension heavy. However, the camera work's really not the greatest, and it is kind of long, so it drags on some parts. Detroit is sitting at 89% on Rotten Tomatoes, and it has an average score of a 7.6 from those critics. So, I mean, this movie is pretty good, and I do recommend you go see this. So thank you all very much for watching, and if you enjoyed this, please leave a like and subscribe to my channel to see more content like this. And remember, no movie is a perfect 10 out of 10. God bless you all.